Hey guys, what's up? Tyler Clark here. Real quick before I get into today's tutorial, I just wanted to let you guys know I've got a Tumblr now. I'm primarily going to be using it to answer questions from you guys, but I'm also going to be making announcements, about upcoming stuff I'm doing, new songs I'm about to release, previews of stuff even, different techniques I'm trying out at the time, and just some cool stuff. But as far as the asking me question goes, I have gotten overwhelmed with the YouTube messages. It's just gotten ridiculous. I'm more than hundreds behind, if not over 1,000 at this point. I've fallen farther and farther behind over the last couple of months, and it's just mounded into a mountain that I'm not going to be able to climb. So anyway, if you've got a question for me, go there, follow me. I don't know if you have to follow me or not to ask me the question, but just create an account, ask me a question, and I will answer it as in-depth as I can. But anyway, let's get on to the tutorial today. What I'm going to be talking about is reverse reverb. And now, when you hear that, if you don't know what it is, it's adding a reverb that is actually the reverse of the sound leading up into the sound. It sounds really complicated and confusing, but it's not that much. I'm going to break it down for you in this tutorial. But one quick thing I wanted to mention before I get into that is it's a common misconception that, hey, reverse reverb is just used for vocals. Well, it can be used for many different things, like a reverby type kick. You can, like, if you're coming in a big build up and then hit with a reverb kick and just come into some silent, softer synths or piano and stuff like that, you can actually reverse reverb that kick in, so it makes for a cleaner transition. Same thing with cymbals. A crash cymbal, you can reverse reverb that crash cymbal in. I've even heard people reverse reverb ride cymbals throughout their songs. It can get muddy if you don't know what you're doing, so pay really close attention to the mixing and the length of the reverb when you're doing that. But regardless, it can be used on many different things other than just vocals. But I'm just going to show you the basics of it today, how to do it. You can use it on any WAV file, but I'm going to show it to you with a vocal. And this vocal sample is actually from my new track Legacy. It's not out yet. It's a dubstep track. I have no clue when I'll release it, but I will release it on YouTube shortly, hopefully. But anyway, so to get started off, you load your sample into your playlist or your viewer or whatever your DAW is. Now let's listen to the sample. You don't want to have any reverb on it at this point. You want it to be dry, just like this. Whoops, I'm sorry.
Legacy.
It's a little bit loud.
Legacy.
Okay, there we go. Sorry. That'll balance out the sound in my voice, hopefully, for you guys, because I've actually got a few complaints about that. But
Legacy.
There we go. It's a dry sample, dry sound. No reverb. I've put other effects on it, but nothing that's going to affect the actual cadence of the sound or anything, or draw of it. So first step is you got your WAV file, your sample. It's dry.
Legacy.
It's in your playlist. What you're going to do is you're going to reverse it. Now, to do this in FL Studio, I'm sorry if you use Ableton, Cubase, whatever, but I don't have those softwares, so FL Studio is what I got to show you in. But you open the sample, and there is usually a reverse button, like right here. It's somewhere, on whatever you're using, whatever DAW you're using. What you're going to do is you're going to click that reverse button. It's going to reverse the sound. So you go from this
Legacy.
to this. Reversing the sound is awesome anyway. Keep in mind you can actually do that and chop up the vocals and pitch the vocals up, and you can pull a whole Skrillex type thing if you want. But right now we're going with reverse reverb. So you reverse that sound. So you've got your dry reversed wave file. What you do now from this point is you link that wave file to any of the tracks on the mixer. So you have that in your mixer, and now what you're going to do is you're going to add your reverb to it. So pull out. I'm actually going to use Fruity Reverb 2 on this one. Now, it's important to remember to keep a long tail on this with your reverb. You want it to last a long time, but you don't want to have it sounding like this.
Isso não.
It's just way too much, you know, openness and stuff. So, you know, a good...
Isso não. Isso não. Isso não.
So that's about a good wetness level. I'll size the room up a little bit and kill the diffusion a little.
Isso não.
Now to add that tail on it, you're going to mess with the decay. You don't want it way just crazy.
Isso não.
You can hear it's just lasting forever. So you just want to bump it up just a little bit.
Isso não. Isso não.
Pull the wetness down a little bit as I had.
Isso não. Isso.
Alright. Now if you cut your WAV file like I have to where
Isso não. Isso não.
it's just going to keep looping, what you do is a quick little insert pro tip here. You see these 3 tabs here in FL Studio? What you want to do is you want to go to the one that looks like a wave form. You want to unclick the stretch button so you can just add as much room to it as you want. So I'm going to pull it out to here, which is way overkill, but
Isso não.
it's got a nice little tail on it. I'm going to add just a little bit more.
Isso não.
Alright, so we've got our WAV file with a good tail on the end of it and reverbed up right now, but your sound is still backwards. You've got reverb on it, but like I said, your sound's still backwards. So
Isso não.
alright, so now what you're going to do is you're going to shorten it up to the point of where your reverb cuts off in, you know, on your sound from at this point. So
Isso não.
which was right about there for me. So now once you've done that, you've got your reverb on your reversed dry track and then added reverb, and then you've gave out the required space for the reverb to last through. You render your sample. And if you're doing a professional style track, you know, if you're doing this for a client or somebody, you definitely want to render as a WAV file. Let me pick reverse reverb tutorial. Save and render that puppy out. So now we have. Now you can just kill what you made. It's done. It's gone. We don't need it anymore. So now here's where the magic has happened. You bring in that sample that you just rendered. So there's the sample we just rendered, which is, I'm going to have to boost that up a whole lot since I've got that volume muted. Alright, so there we go. We've got that boosted. You can hear now that the sound is what we had a second ago, but it's been rendered. Now here's where you do the reverse reverb part. All you do now, open that sound up and re-reverse it. Now listen to it.
Legacy.
Hear that? It's pretty freaking sick, ain't it? I mean,
Legacy.
great, just an awesome tool. I mean, it adds so much depth and feel into a transition or just your vocal, just bringing it in and announcing it. Just a great tool. And like I said, you can use this with different stuff. Just drop your WAV file in, make sure it's dry, then you reverse it first, then add your reverb, fit the track out till it quits with your long tail on your reverb. You want to add that long tail, then you want to render it. And then after you render it, bring it back into FL Studio and then reverse it for that third time.
Legacy.
And there's your final result. I hope this helps you. I hope it inspires you to take it to a whole new level and do something no one's ever heard before, because that's really what makes music in this genre, is just bringing complete new stuff to the table, revamping old stuff, or just doing something completely original. Regardless, be sure to check me out on Tumblr. Follow me on there and ask me any questions you may have. I hope I explained this in depth enough, even though I'm usually long-winded and really go into too much detail sometimes about things. But I hope it helped you out a lot. I hope this is a great new tool in your arsenal that you'll have. But anyway, until next time, just take care.